Long ago, in the ancient village of Umudim, life revolved around deep-rooted traditions. The village, made up of 10 distinct communities, was famous for its masquerades. These were not just ordinary masquerades, they were believed to be spirits. Some claimed they were the spirits of ancestors who came to bless the living. At the heart of Umudim stood a grand square known as the masquerade square. This was sacred ground where every significant ceremony, including the initiation of new members, took place. For people of Umudim, the masquerade were not merely for entertainment. They symbolized power, mystery, and other connection between the living and the dead. Every male child in Umudim was required to be initiated into the masquerade tradition as soon as they reached the age of 10. It was a rite of passage, a step into manhood. The initiation was concealed in secrecy and carried out at midnight. On the night of his initiation, a boy was blindfolded and led by one of the elders to the masquerade square. There, surrounded by the imposing figures of masquerades, he would take a secret oath never to reveal the secrets of the masquerade. Anyone breaking this oath was said to bring dire consequences. One of the elders, Wokedi, often led the rituals. He was a man of few words, but carried an air of authority that silenced even the most talkative person. You are not just joining a group, he would tell the initiatees. You are becoming part of a legacy. The spirits watch us, and they do not forgive betrayals. The masquerade of Umudim were a source of both awe and fun. Women and children, including strangers, were forbidden from coming close. If a masquerade is passing, they had to stay indoors or watch from a safe distance. It was said that anyone who violated this rule would face severe punishment, sometimes even disappearance. Among the masquerades, there were tall ones that danced gracefully and short ones known for their fiery tempers. The short masquerades, often armed with wipes and some weapons, were not to be belittled or joked with. People whispered that they were the most dangerous of all. During festive periods, the masquerade brought life to the village. Whether it was Christmas, New Year, or New Yam Festival, each community's masquerade had its turn to perform. On special occasions, all 10 communities would gather together at the masquerade square for a grand ceremony. People from neighboring villages usually come to Umudim on such occasions to be entertained. At each event, women and children sang from a distance, their voices blending with the rhythmic beats of drums. The masquerade danced, their costumes glittering with vibrant colors. Occasionally, they would chase the crowd, sending people scattering in laughter and fear. No one dared to be caught. There was one masquerade that stood apart from the rest. A female masquerade known as Adoma, She was adorned with beautiful beads and ornaments. She was a rare sight, only appearing on the most important occasions. Her beauty and elegance captivated everyone, and her dance were said to bring blessings to the land. Years passed. A young man named Ugo, who grew up in Umudim like every other boy, he was initiated into the masquerade tradition. As a young man, Ugo respected the rituals, though he often questioned their purpose in private. But Ugo's life took a turn when he traveled to America for his education. In the bustling cities of the West, he was exposed to new ideas, science, logic, and modernity replaced the mysticism of his childhood. To him, the masquerade became symbols of fear passed down through generations, a system designed to control rather than to enlighten. When Ugo returned to Umudim after 5 years, he was a changed man. He walked the village streets, observing the familiar sights with a skeptical eye. The masquerade culture he had once enjoyed seemed to him like an elaborate charade, a tradition upheld by fear and secrecy. "Do you mean to tell me," Ugo said one evening, addressing a group of young men, "that you still believe these masquerades are spirits, spirits of our ancestors? Come on, we are in 21st century." The youth laughed nervously, urging him to keep quiet. "Ugo, don't joke about such things," one of them warned. "You knew the elders don't take these things lightly." But Ugo was undeterred. One day, during a gathering of young men, he stood up and declared, "I will reveal everything about the masquerades, the rituals, the secrets, everything. Let's end these lies once and for all." True to his words, Ugo began to spill the secrets of the masquerades. He described the initiation process, the identities of the men behind the mask, and the tricks used to create the illusion of supernatural powers. What Ugo did spread quickly. Women and strangers listened in shock, while the elders of the community were filled with rage. The leaders of the masquerade, Woked, called an emergency meeting. "This boy has broken the sacred oath," Woked said, his voice trembling with anger. "He has insulted our ancestors and put the tradition to shame. He must face the consequences." Early in the morning, all the masquerade from all the 10 communities gathered at Ugo's compound. The sight was terrifying. A sea of colorful, imposing figures, their masks glittering in the morning sun. Women and children ran into the house and locked the doors. Ugo's father, a respected man in the village, pleaded for mercy, but the masquerades were unmoved. The boy knew the consequences, Woked said. Now he must pay the price. Ugo was dragged out of his house and laid flat on the ground. The masquerades performed a ritual, each one striking their head against his body, a symbolic act believed to transfer the wrath of the spirits. Then, in a final act of punishment, they set his father's house on fire. Ugo's parents cried bitterly. They were not even allowed to remove a single property from the house. They only ensured that there was no one inside the house before setting it on fire. 2 days later, Ugo died. His death sent shockwaves through the village. For the youth, it was a stark reminder of the power and seriousness of their tradition. For the elders, it was a reaffirmation of the sacredness of the masquerades. Life in Umudim returned to normal, but the story of Ugo became a cautionary tale passed down from generation to generation. Since that incident, no one ever dared to say anything against the masquerades. Parents warned their children never to discuss issues of masquerade anywhere. The story served as a reminder that some secrets were not meant to be revealed, and that the masquerades of Umudim were more than just men in costume. They were the heart and soul of the village. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to tell us what you think about this story and the ancient tradition of Umudim village on the comment section. Support my channel by clicking the subscribe button.